right, problem 1. We want to look at the absolute maximum, absolute minimum, and all these other things. Absolute. Absolute means that the highest in the entire graph. Is there a point on this graph that we see that's at the highest point that there is? Do you see one? I do. And if I can get my pen to work. There we go. It's working. The highest point is this guy right there. He's at the highest point. So the absolute maximum we would write as an ordered pair, negative 0.5, 2.5. What about the absolute minimum? Is there a spot that's in the minimum? This guy goes to the bottom forever. He keeps going down and down further and further. So there is no absolute minimum. There is none. We just say, hey, there's none. Sorry, but the guy never has a bottom point. Lowest point would have to be an end point. It would have to come to a spot to be at the lowest point, and there doesn't happen. Relative maximum, that just means within a certain section. That doesn't happen here. Relative minimum, there's none there either. So there's neither on these. Relative just means within, remember, like within this spot, that's at the lowest point there. Within the spot, within the picture. Increasing intervals, start at the left. Where's it going up? Well, it seems from negative infinity, it keeps going up, going up, going up, going up, going up until that point. And then it starts going down. So intervals, we have to say, hey, this guy is going from where? He's coming from negative infinity. And then at the x value, where does it stop? We're only concentrating on the x values. It's stopping right here at that guy at negative 0.5. Now, it doesn't include it because that's the point where it reaches the highest spot. So we don't include it. Decreasing intervals, well, it starts decreasing from that negative 0.5 to positive infinity. As it starts from there, it starts going down, going to the right forever. All right, the next one has a little bit more. The absolute maximum. Is there a point where this guy is at the highest point? Now, he goes down forever, but he doesn't go up forever, does he? Right here is a spot where he's at the absolute highest of his graph. So the absolute maximum is at the point negative 2, 3.6. These are going to be points. The absolute minimum. Is there an absolute bottom? No, this guy keeps going down forever and ever. So there is no absolute minimum. None. Relative maximum. Well, there is no relative maximum either. But do notice there's a relative minimum. Within this section, we have this low point right here, don't we? And that there is going to be your relative minimum, which in this case looks like it's at the point 2.7, negative 1.5. Okay, that's its relative minimum. Relative maximum, there is no relative spot. There's this absolute spot, but there's nowhere else where it sort of has another dip. So none. Increase in intervals. Well, as we start going left to right from negative infinity, it goes up to that point. So the increase in intervals is negative infinity up to that point of negative 2. Again, we're not going to include it. Does it increase anywhere else? Well, it drops here, but does it not increase from here to there? It does. So we need to include that also. So from 2.7 to 4, it is increasing. Again, we don't include the points themselves. And then where does it decrease? Well, this guy is only decreasing there to there. It's going down. Again, we're going left to right. It is decreasing from negative 2, the x value of negative 2, to this x value right here of 2.7. And we don't include them because those are points.